book in a series called, like you guessed it, Dragon Slayers Academy. So far we have learned that the main character in this book, his name is Wigloff, and he has 12 brothers, all of whom like to fight and beat up each other and kill bugs and all these things, and Wigloff doesn't like any of it. But a minstrel once told him that he will become a great hero. Well, what do heroes do? Heroes slay dragons. So of course, Wigloff here decided to go off to Dragon Slayers Academy in order to learn how to slay a dragon. On the way, he ran into a wizard named Zelnok, who gave him the sword Surekill that is blunted, and so it's not at all sharp, and it's dented and crooked and covered in rust. So we're not sure how great of a sword Surekill is, but the wizard said it has great power, so who can we argue with it? We also learned that we are still on Wigloff's first day of school. So far, he has had to wash all the dirty dishes in the castle, and his first class was how to stalk a fire-breathing dragon, in which we learned that you must slide and glide to stalk the fire-breathing dragon. And then he had to stab a practice dragon that was covered in cloth and filled with straw, and instead he missed the dragon and he stabbed his teacher's wig instead. So let's keep on to his first day of school, and let's hope that Wigloff's new school, the Dragon Slayers Academy, gets a little better than this. Let's keep going. Chapter 6. Wigloff picked at his lunch a boiled eel on a bun. Coach Plunkett was sure to give him an F in slang now. He had messed up royally, and on his first day of school. "Come on, Wigloff, eat up," Angus told him. "You do not want to be late for Mordred's class." "Mordred?" Wigloff shuddered. What would the headmaster do to a new boy who had nearly slayed the sleighing coach? With dark thoughts, Wigloff followed Angus to a stone-walled classroom. As the boys sat down on a rickety bench, a huge man in a red cloak strode through the door. Thick black hair sprouted from his head. His violet eyes bulged like overripe plums. "Attention!" Mordred the Marvelous called. The students leapt to their feet. Wigloff did too. "At ease," Mordred commanded. The boys sat down. "Let us review," the headmaster said. "Why are you here at Dragon Slayers Academy?" "To learn to slay evil dragons," Eric called out at once. "To make the world safe for little children. To save villagers from—" Yes, Mordred interrupted, holding up a hand heavy with gold rings. "That is all well and good, but what about yesterday's lesson? What did I say? Anyone? Baldric?" A small, freckle-faced boy with a runny nose stood up. "We are here to learn how to get a dragon's golden hoard, sir, and bring it back to you, sir." "Correct," Mordred grinned, showing a shiny gold front tooth. "To bring me gold and," he coughed, "to take a teeny bit home to your parents." He cleared his throat. "Now, who remembers how to find a cave-dwelling dragon?" Again, Eric was the first to answer. "Look for burned spots on shrubs and bushes," he called, "and big footprints with 3 long toes." Mordred nodded. "And when you spot the dragon, what must you look out for?" "Beware flames of death," Eric shouted. "Beware a dragon's poisoned spit." "Correct, Eric." Mordred sighed and looked around. "Anyone else?" "Beware the eyes that never close," Eric called again. "Beware the knife-sharp teeth. Beware the powerful lashing tail." "Thank you, Eric," Mordred said. "Now, what else must a dragon hunter know in order to slay such a beast?" "How to talk to a dragon," Eric called. "How to be brave," Mordred nodded. "Anything else?" At last, Eric was quiet, and so were all the other boys. But Wigloff had listened well to the minstrel's dragon tales. He knew there was one thing that Eric had not mentioned. Timidly, he raised his hand. Mordred's bulging eyes lit on him. "Ah, the new boy. The one who scalped Coach Plunkett." The headmaster chuckled. "So, new boy, what else should a dragon hunter know?" "A dragon's secret weakness?" Wigloff said meekly. "That's right." Mordred's eyebrows shot up. "Oh, everyone knows that," Eric complained. "Let the new boy tell what he knows of dragon secrets, Eric," Mordred said. "Maybe you will learn something." From him? Eric muttered. Not likely. Well, new boy, Mordred said, pray tell us what you know. I know very little, Wigloff began. See, Eric cut in, what did I tell you? But the headmaster ignored him. New boy, he said, know you the secret weakness of the dragon Gorzo? No, sir, Wigloff answered. His weakness is still a secret. Too true, Mordred sighed sadly. But it would be useful to know it, for Gorzo is rumored to be in the dark forest. My scout Yorick is there now. As soon as he finds Gorzo's cave, I shall send my best boys out to slay him. Slay him and claim his great big golden hoard. These words were barely out of Mordred's mouth when a small man burst into the classroom. Branches and leaves were tied to his tunic as if he were trying to disguise himself as a bush. Yorick! Mordred exclaimed. Back so soon? What news from the dark forest? My lord, Yorick began, Gorzo has moved to a cave outside the village of Toenail. Toenail? Torblad shrieked. My family lives in Toenail. Sit down, Torblad, Mordred snarled. Go on, Yorick. My lord, Yorick said, the Toenailians have brought Gorzo all their gold. Now he swears to burn Toenail to the ground unless the son and the daughter of the village are outside his cave tomorrow. Tomorrow at dawn in time for breakfast. Oh, that's nice, Gorzo, Torblad said, cheering up, having company for breakfast. You ninny, Mordred cried. They are to be his breakfast. The headmaster turned back to his scout. So, I shall send boys out to slay Gorzo this very afternoon. Then a look of horror crossed his face. Egad, he exclaimed. Class 2 and Class 3 just left on their blasted field trip to see the petrified dragon skeleton. That means I have to send Class 1 boys. Pray, send me, Eric cried, falling to his knees. Yes, Mordred said. But remember, we have a buddy system here. I'll need another volunteer. He looked around the room. Anyone but Angus. If I sent you, I'd never hear the end of it from your mother. All right, who will it be? No hands went up. Come on now, Mordred coaxed. Gorzo's not so bad. Still, no hands went up. And here's a picture of Mordred and Eric begging to be sent out to slay Gorzo the Dragon. My patience grows thin, Mordred warned. Then his violet eyes landed on Wigloff. You, new boy, he boomed. You seem to know a fair bit about dragons, and I chanced to look at the register book at lunchtime. You never paid your 7 pennies. That is so, Wigloff began, but he stopped. He had promised Frypot to not say a word about the dishwashing deal. No buts, Mordred cried. You shall go with Eric, and you shall pay your 7 pennies out of Gorzo's gold. Ah, sir, Eric cried. Pray pick someone else. Wigloff has never even been here a whole day. He knows nothing of slaying. You slay Gorzo then, Mordred shouted. Let him pull a card for the dragon's hoard. Now be off. You must reach Gorzo's cave by dawn. What are you waiting for? Go! Ready, Wigloff? Eric called as he hurried toward the gatehouse. Wigloff was bent over trying to fix a wobbly wheel on the hoard cart. He glanced up and was nearly blinded by the glare from Eric's slaying outfit. Eric stood proudly before him in a gleaming silver helmet. He carried a broadsword shield and a wide silver belt held his sword. Wigloff had only Surekill. What fine gear, Wigloff told Eric. Yes, Eric agreed. I sent away for it from the Sir Lancelot Fan Club catalog. Come, you shall pull the cart, as Mordred said. Let us be off. My sword is itching to slay the dragon. Wigloff began to slide back the great iron bolt on the gatehouse door, but a yell from Eric made him stop. Boar! Eric cried. Wild boar! Wigloff turned to see Eric with his sword drawn and his shield up. Stand back, Eric shouted. I shall slay the charging beast. What beast? Wigloff asked. Then he spotted something running toward them from across the castle yard. It was Daisy. Remember, Daisy is his pig. Eric, stop, Wigloff shouted. Stop! That is my own pig, Daisy. Eric stopped and glumly lowered his sword. He jammed it back into his scabbard and stomped off, grumbling. Wigloff ran to Daisy. "Igloff way," she squealed. "Ig te, ime, ith way ue." "I cannot, Daisy," Wigloff said sadly. He squatted down beside her and scratched her bristly ears. "It's too dangerous, for I am off to hunt a dragon." "Orzogay?" Daisy's voice trembled. Wigloff nodded. "Who knows? Perhaps I shall return a hero." He tried to smile. "But if I do not," he gulped, "if I do not return, I am sure Frypot will take good care of you. Now I must go. Farewell, best pig in the world." "Farewell, fay, Igloff yea," Daisy called after him. "Udgay ukle." Wigloff waved and hurried back to the gatehouse. Then he picked up the cart handle. "Let us be off," he said to Eric. Wigloff and Eric followed the trail down the hill from Dragonslayer's Academy. Then they headed north on Huntsman's Path. They walked beside the swampy river all afternoon. Strange birds cried out from stunted trees on the way. Hairy-legged spiders dropped down on them from overhanging branches. Once an angry troll threatened them with his club, but Wigloff was not afraid. He thought of facing Gorzo was so terrifying that nothing else bothered him. Well, almost nothing. I shall slay Gorzo, no problem," Eric announced for the 200th time. "I shall plunge my sword into his throat. I shall twist it. Buckets of blood will gush from the dragon's steaming wound. Then I shall—" "You know," Wigloff broke in finally, "my sword was made for dragon slaying too." "That bent-up thing?" Eric sneered. Wigloff nodded. "A wizard gave it to me," he explained. "When I say magic words, it will leap from my hand and obey." Eric looked doubtful. "And just what are these magic words?" The wizard forgot," Wigloff mumbled. "It matters not," Eric scoffed as they came to a fork in Huntsman's Path. One path led to the village of Toenail, the other led to the dark forest. "For I shall slay this dragon with my own silver sword. I shall cut Gorzo to ribbons. I shall—" Suddenly, Eric stopped talking. He stared at the blackened leaves on a nearby shrubbery. "Behold," he cried, "this bush is scorched." Wigloff bent down to take a closer look. "So it is," he agreed. "Could it be from the hot breath of a dragon?" "How could it not? And look here," Eric pointed to the ground. "Footprints." Wigloff stared at a huge three-toed print. Sorry, everyone. Three-toed print in the path in front of them. "My, but these footprints are large," he exclaimed. "Come," Eric said. "They will lead us to Gorzo's cave." "Hark," he added. "What noise is that?" Wigloff listened. "It sounds like someone is crying." The sound grew louder. Then a boy and girl about Wigloff and Eric's age came along the path from Toenail. Tears streamed down their cheeks. "What ails you, good travelers?" Eric called them. "And how can we help?" "Alag-a-day," the boy yelled. "You cannot help us. No one can. My sister Zelda and I are on our way to Gorzo's cave." "Do you mean," Wigloff began, "that you are the son and daughter of the village? That you are to be Gorzo's breakfast?" Zelda nodded. "I fear it's so. The Toenail village masters held a lottery, and alas, Gawain and I won. If only a brave knight would slay Gorzo and save us," Gawain said. "But there is no hope of that." Eric yanked his sword from its scabbard and held it high in the air. "Fear not, young friends," he cried. "Eric the Dragon Slayer is at your service." Gawain and Zelda stared at him. "You?" Zelda said. Eric nodded. "You are but a boy," she scoffed. Eric sniffed. "I am first in my class at Dragonslayer's Academy," he replied. "I shall slay Gorzo, no sweat." "Do you know how many brave knights have tried and perished in his flames?" Gawain asked. No, but," Eric began. "Gorzo will toast you like a marshmallow," Zelda declared. "Unless," she added, "you come up with a clever plan." "Plan?" Wigloff said. "What kind of? Change clothes with us," Zelda cut in. "Disguise yourselves as the son and daughter of Toenail and catch Gorzo off guard." At first, Eric looked doubtful. Then he began to smile. "Yes," he exclaimed. I can see it now. At dawn, we shall appear at the mouth of Gorzo's cave, dressed in your clothing. Gorzo will never suspect that behind my back I have a sword. When the dragon opens his jaws to eat me, I shall whip out my sword and plunge it deep into his throat. Then his whole body will shudder. But Eric, Wigloff broke in, how can one of us pass for a daughter of the village? But Eric was already taking off his helmet. Worry not, Wigloff, he said. Just be quick and give your tunic to Gawain. Here, Zelda, take my Sir Lancelot armor. Eric handed the girl his helmet and chainmail. As soon as we are dressed in their clothes, Eric told Wigloff, we shall go thitherward to carry out our plan. That is chapter 6 and 7. Next week we'll finish up this book with about Dragon Slayer's Academy, the new kid at school, and we will see if Eric and Wigloff manage to slay the mighty dragon Gorzo. Bye guys!